Welcome race fans, I'm Tom Spanners Watson.
And I'm Frank the Guru Gibbs.
We've got a lot to crack into tonight, so let's rip into it. Now first up, we mentioned last time that Flat Rabbit are back in the DIRS. We're super excited to have them, so they are now track number 7 in the order of the races before they come down for the finals at Chaos Canyon. Make sure you go and subscribe to each of those channels, there's links in the description.
Diecast Racing Report did something cool this week. It's a mystery box challenge. It's a new thing they're doing, so check that out. And then EVOSparks has another car review. Go and check that out.
Right, getting into drag racing. Skorpio Love Smith out on the streets again. Just love what he's doing. And of course, the old donut car there is actually a surprisingly fast little beast. But that transit van had a great run there, so make sure to check out all the action.
My Hotwheels Collection did a King of the Garage series, and this was really cool. Lots of very tight racing. And you can see here just one of these races, just a good length track and some very tight finishes.
Now, Na Tabua we haven't seen for a while, and they've done something different this time with this little race. I love how the driver makes an escape there, just like leaps out of the car. I don't know if he's upset with how the race went or what, but lots of fun.
Now, GNR Vintage Diecast Racing did something quite different this time in terms of drag racing with the double loop. I thought this was really cool, and just another part of their collections that they're doing with the Matchbox Superfast. Go and check it out.
Over at Chapman Films, the I Like Cheese slap out continues on, and these two cars battled it out all night. Have a look at their channel.
Then Redline Derby Racing have the Rookie Rally 2. So these were rookie builders that had to submit cars. This particular race is between Griffin Cross and G4 Diecast. G4 Diecast with a great win there.
Then over to Simpson Diecast Racing and his monster truck racing, and this was a great tournament. It was like 24 monster trucks. It was wicked.
Then Aaron over at Hotwheels Calgary with his new short drag track, live racing, and nice to see the 3 cameras so you get all those different views.
Hawkeye Hauler Diecast, that's not easy to say quickly, had a real rider drag race tournament, and I like this because it's got that extra little hump in it in the track just to give them a boost of extra speed, but they stay nice and straight obviously with those real rider tyres.
Main Street Races were using all 6 lanes on their track for their tournament, and it was a real blast. Some very good racing there.
Then BlueLine Racing had more of their tournaments, and as always this track is fun to watch, and I love how smooth their transition is. It's one of the smoothest transitions I've seen in a drag track. Great racing, go and check it out. We're just going to take a short break, we'll be right back. Welcome back folks, it's time for tournaments. We're going to kick off with the GT Cup at Chaos Canyon. Now this was just a huge series for us, it's taken off and it's so much fun. 8 cars on the track is absolutely crazy, but check this out. Watch the black Dodge in the back there come from like 7th place to sneak in for 3rd. It was an absolutely brilliant overtake, and there is lots of action. 8 cars on the track, there's never a dull moment.
Over to Commotion Diecast and Death Mountain Speedway. More racing on his track that was really good, and I'm so impressed with this Superbird. Normally these things really struggle on these tracks. For whatever reason they tend to tip over in those corners, but it just stayed on track beautifully and picked up a couple of good wins. Lots of good racing, and again, love the commentary on that channel. It's so much fun.
Over to Masmbot, and he was running a police car series this time round. So running all different police cars from around the world on the track, seeing who was the fastest, taking up bragging rights I guess. Have a look at that one. It's lots of racing on his channel.
Top Driver continued on with their tournament, and I just love how exciting their racing is. Like that, the way that red car picked up the overtake there was just beautiful, coming out of the lane section.
Liquid Rush series for Sub 4 RA carries on, and the racing is getting serious. This particular track was just a straight run wide track, so a little bit different to the hair clip that he's had previously.
Diecast Draggor, again outside in the snow. Props buddy, that is way too cold for us. I like sun and surf, I can't handle the snow. but awesome that you're out there doing it.
Yeah, it makes me cold just looking at it. Now over to Alley Cat Racing, and we like this race here. You see the muscle bound way out in front, and it looked like he just zoomed off. Well, he did, but he actually zoomed off the track. You'll see it here. He comes around and doesn't actually clear the corner. If you look in the screen there on that replay, you see him fly right off the track. He was moving so fast.
Man, that was absolutely motoring. Now, over at WeRaceDiecast, they previewed their track with some mini truck racing. Now, obviously the track's still not fully finished. That will be complete for the DIRS, which is coming up. So make sure you go over, check it out, and subscribe to his channel so you don't miss any of the racing there.
Sonora Diecast with more crazy fun. Batman and Robin on the track again. And have a look at this. Check out that jump, that jump on that F-150 Lightning. It absolutely just got airborne and just smashed through the camera. It was just massive. Look at it. You see it there. Tumbling and spiraling and just so much fun. And of course, Robin there getting nailed.
Now, Transport Diecast Racing kicked off with the DNQ tournament for the DIRS. So these were the drivers that weren't able to qualify for the competition. He ran a special competition for them that's run over the last 2 weeks before we kick into the official DIRS, which starts on Monday. So make sure you've subscribed to Transport Diecast Racing's channel. You don't want to miss this tournament. It is going to be epic. But look at this series of overtakes here. The Roger Dodger trying to push through, just some savage blocking going on to the point where he gets pushed off the track, takes himself out, and a billboard.
Classic stuff. Really looking forward to that series. Now, there's another GT Cup going on, and this time over at Tune Tracks Racing. So on his 3-lane course, and we just love this curve, and look at the speed that Renault picks up out of the big turn there. So he was ahead going into it, drops behind slightly, but then gets a massive boost coming out and just overtakes the field. Great racing there, go and check it out.
M&M Diecast Racing on their wide track. Absolutely loving this little track. It's relatively short, but man, there's some good battles going on. Like in this one here, check this out. So the white car, little bit behind, but then closes right up on him, gets up the inside, just can't quite make it through to the finish. But great racing.
And of course, hot car track with his Minis versus Mustangs. Lots of excitement here. I mean, look at the Mini just getting absolutely taken out with the two Mustangs bullying him there. But then one of the Mustangs goes completely off track as well. I don't know what was going on. And the Mini came back for second. And then here, he comes down, spins, the Mustang goes through, but then loses all pace as he goes down towards the finish. And the Minis come back and snake him there as well. Just a really exciting series. If you haven't seen it, go and check out Hot Car Track.
Now, Cleveland City Diecast did something that we haven't seen for a while, and that is motorbikes. So I think Hot Car Track did some. If you're looking for some more racing, they did some racing about 4 or 5 months ago. But on this track, it was really exciting. There's lots of twists and turns in this track, so these bikes were going all over the place. Good to see him pulling out some interesting races.
Then we go over to Meal Ticket Raceway. So this is their endurance race. So it's a little bit different to normal. He'd normally be racing all 6 tracks there, but down to just 4 cars at a time. If you want to see who wins that, head over to Meal Ticket Raceway and check it out. Again, all of these channels, the links to them will be in the description if you're looking for them.
Also, Diecast Racing, in this one here, I really like. You see the 2 cars out front, and the silver car gets a bit of a lead, but then the blue car somehow just catches right up and finishes right on his bumper. And then crawling across the line in 3rd place was a Kiwi.
Hey, what are you trying to say, mate? All right, Nines Diecast Racing. This Volvo was an absolute beast. It smoked the competition. You have to go and watch it. Just check it out.
Then Poverty Hollow continued on with the vintage castings. This is a pink slip race, so if you lose your car. I'd hate to have put that beautiful Lambo up against the Ferrari. I'd hate to lose a car like that.
Now, Amigos Diecast Racing, again, loving this track as well. Lots of opportunity for overtake and craziness. And there's always an element of unpredictability on this track. You see the Torino here jumps ahead of everybody else and gets completely smoked by himself. Can't blame anybody else. A lot of fun racing happening over at Amigos Diecast. Make sure you have a look at their channel.
Now into street racing, we kick off with the Outlaws. This week there was no list racing, this was just grudge matches and call-outs, and we wanted to show this one here of the Benford 5000. Comes down, and particularly that drift through Kahuna Corner was one of the wildest but most controlled we've seen. He gets it completely sideways and then just pulls it back in so beautifully. Look at this, he comes around, drifts pretty much 3/4 away around the corner, straightens it out beautifully, zooms off to the finish.
Now, 164 Underground Diecast Racing is a track that we put into Tracks by just recently, so they have more racing on their channel now. Have a look at it. This particular race I really liked how they came out of the gate, was just door handle to door handle, and then the yellow car smokes away to the finish and then almost loses it.
Now, King of the Mountain, it was the JDM round, and this particular race here was so close to another tragedy on the course. Look at that purple car almost got pushed off, and then he flips the orange car over. It was just so close to going over. I have no idea how he managed to pull himself back on track. It looked like some foliage and bushes went flying. And lots of drama after the race. Hashtag free 3D.
Okay, over at DRC Racing, this Nissan Fair Lady, nice little drift through the corner there, but check out this jump over the finish. It is an absolute beauty. Massive amounts of air there. You'll see it in this replay. A little bit of air going down into the dip, and then just a huge jump across the finish line. It's just such a crazy course. I absolutely love it.
Now into special events, there's quite a lot of them tonight, and we're kicking off with Monster Motorsports. We love this track. Rubber Tower's doing a fantastic job with this live racing, but look at that spin by that rally car. So he's doing uphill races, and the way that rally car spun, did a full 360, but still made it to the top. Just a great bit of racing. But honestly, Rubber Toe, the whole live broadcast on Facebook, so you're interacting with everybody, showing the races with all the replays and stuff, absolutely brilliant. And it's really unique. If you haven't seen it, you have to check it out. And make sure you subscribe, because he is also part of the DIRS coming up. In fact, he's the second track after Transport Diecast Racing.
Now we jump over to Rust Belt Racing and another outdoor track. This one fully sculpted into the snow, and this race here, the gold coloured truck there, both of them roll, but then just beautifully drives around the wreck right in front of him. I think that's a Dodge Power Wagon, is it, on its side? It's a little bit hard to tell, but just a stunning bit of driving there. Very nice overtake. Now,
Roadrunner Raceway, this was one that we featured in Tracks by the other week as well, and he's doing a new relay race. A lot of fun to watch.
Now, speaking of fun to watch, we love Flat Rabbit Racing, and of course they're now back in the DIRS as well, but the Scarnage games are lots of fun, and of course they've had backstory right from the beginning in their early videos all the way through. Have a look at it. We love it. We're sure you will too. Now,
Live Young Diecast, another track in the DIRS, are running their off-road series here, and we love this little track. It's quite simple, but also quite challenging. Lots of action on this track, and it's not as easy as you might think it is.
Low Country Diecast Racing League had their Sunday vibing on again, and this time it was Vans Racing. So really cool to see Vans Racing, and some close races here as well. Make sure you check them out and have a look at their channel. They got lots of cool stuff going on there.
Brunhilde Heels and The Goodest Boy in Diecast are back to their stunt track, and it really is a stunt track. Check this out. This finish line is just so brutal. They plough down there and then flip over to the finish line, and I'm really surprised that the crowd is allowed to stand there, because I would have thought there was a big chance of cars coming off and hitting them.
And you know that we love a good rock drop jump over at Beaverworks. And the V-dub there making it look easy, even though he crashes at the end. But again, it's one of these deceptive tracks. It's not as easy as it looks, as you see there, with the dude just ploughing into the pit. So much fun though. Go over and check out Beaverworks.
Now, this is something we haven't seen before, and it was so cool, and it's soccer using all the different cars that they've got over at Checkered Flag Contention, and it was just so much fun to watch. Well done, guys. It's really cool to see people being so innovative. Have a look at that one.
And we're going to finish off in this section with Mr. Mom's Racing sending Thomas through the loop. Now, as always, Mr. Mom's Racing, a lot of fun with these guys, and I love that they put the GoPro on the track and you see them go through this loop, and it is quite a monster loop. But have a look, there is another loop there as well for you to check out.
Into Track Spy. This new track, Silver Fox Racing, it is actually called DYNMQ. Look in the description, you'll find the link to their channel. But it's really cool to see another outdoor track, and it's all handmade and not as easy as it looks. And then we've got Diecast and Racing, and they're Rocky Creek Off-Road. So this is a short course, but it is fully off-road. And you see the Pajero here coming down. It looks pretty simple. It's just a straight short track, but no, the Pajero just stops before the finish and pulls over for like a coffee or something. I don't know what he was doing, but he just turned right before the finish line and drove off the track. And again, nice to see some innovation out there.
Now we're doing something a bit different. Instead of just one stunt of the week, we're doing replays of the week. This one was from our GT Manufacturers Cup. You see the Dodge there get absolutely spanked off the side of the track. He came down, then smashed into the jump, which caused the Porsche to fall down and almost take out the leader of the race. It was absolutely crazy. And then not long after that, we had a Jaguar flip over and caused absolute carnage on the jump. It was totally savage.
And speaking of savage, this was another one of the races from Sonora Diecast Racing League. And again, look how these cars just get launched and they spank both Batman and Robin this time as everybody goes flying. But really fun to watch.
And then over at DRC, this particular one I thought was really cool. Like just the way he pulled around and parked them behind him. And this clip also from DRC, just because of this overtake where they're going backwards and forwards, and the fair lady takes it right at the end.
Now speaking of overtakes, check this one out from the Amigos. Just a stunning overtake by that Jag to come right from the back. Not only push past the blue car, but to get past the Bentley as well.
And then this run over at Live Young Diecast, I believe that's Kit KM driving the front truck with just a perfect run.
And then we jump over to Flat Rabbit for this absolute monster truck run down the snow. And it was a super close race. Check out this finish. All of those trucks going wild, and it came down to a photo finish. Lots of fun.
Alright, well that's it from us tonight. We hope you've enjoyed the show. I'm Tom Spanners Watson. He's Frank the Guru Gibbs. We'll see you next time.
Man, I could do with some more of Dave's nuts.
You sure do seem to like them.
As always, remember to check out redlinederby.com for all of your racing needs. They've got information on races coming up, mail-ins, and all the information you could need if you're looking to get into the hobby.